This is lesson 12-3, understanding rates and unit rates. Our essential question, are there special types of ratios? And this picture here shows you the difference between a rate and a unit rate. We have two vocab words. A rate is when a ratio compares quantities with different units of measure. And a unit rate is a comparison of a quantity to one unit of another quantity. So we're going to practice writing these as rates and unit rates. Now a rate is going to look very similar to a ratio. So for example number 1, we have 60 kilometers in 12 hours. So our rate is 60 kilometers in 12 hours. So all I did was take the numbers I had and place them into a fractional form. Okay? And the 60 kilometers showed up first, so I put that on top. Now my unit rate is where I want to get it to comparing it to one unit. So I am trying to get it to 1 hour. I want to see how many kilometers can I go in 1 hour. So I started with 60 kilometers in 12 hours. And I'm trying to get to 1 hour because a unit rate always compares to 1. So now you have to think about, how did I get from 12 hours to 1 hour? I divided by 12. Whatever I do to the denominator, I have to do to the numerator. So I have to divide 60 divided by 12, which is 5. So they can go 5 kilometers in 1 hour. That's my unit rate, because I'm comparing it to 1 hour instead of the 12 hours that I started out with in the regular rate. Example number 2, we have 26 centimeters in 13 seconds. So my rate is 26 centimeters in 13 seconds. Just using the numbers I have, putting one over the other. Now for my unit rate, I'm just going to rewrite my rate like I have it right above, because now I need to get to 1 second. Because I don't want to compare to 13 seconds, I want to compare to 1 second. Unit rates compare to 1. So going from 13 to 1, I divided by 13. Whatever I do to the denominator, I have to do to the numerator. So I have to divide 26 divided by 13, which becomes 2. So they can go 2 centimeters in 1 second. That's the unit rate. Example number 3, we have 230 miles on 10 gallons. So 230 miles on 10 gallons. There's my rate. Then my unit rate, I'm going to rewrite that really quickly. And then my goal is to get to 1 gallon. I want to see how many miles they can travel on 1 gallon. So to go from 10 gallons to 1 gallon, we have to divide by 10. So we have to do the same thing to the numerator, divide by 10. 230 divided by 10 is 23 miles. So they can travel 23 miles on 1 gallon. Example number 4, $12.50 for 5 pounds. So $12.50 over 5 pounds is my rate. I rewrite that down here for my unit rate. And now I want to see how much does it cost for 1 pound. I know how much it costs for 5 pounds. But let's say I wanted to buy 7 pounds. I need to know how much that would be. So I first have to get it to 1 before I can calculate that. So to go from 5 pounds to 1 pound, we will be dividing by 5. So we have to divide the numerator by 5. $12.50 divided by 5. So let's do that here. You have to bring that decimal straight up. 5 goes into 12 2 times, which is 10 with 2 left over. Bring down the 5. 5 goes into 25, 5 times evenly. 0 left over. Bring down the 0. 5 goes into 0, 0 times. So for 1 pound, it's $2.50. Here are your practice problems. You need to write the rate and the unit rate for each. So to do the unit rate, you have to get it to 1. So for example, number 1, you want to see how many gallons you can do in 1 month. For number 2, how many miles you can go in 1 hour. Number 3, how much money it costs for 1 movie ticket. That's for the unit rates. And the regular rate, you just write it just like it says in fractional form. Don't forget a word problem or a question and rate your understanding.